Hi, welcome to another webinar. I am Josh Hanish with 329, and today we're going to go over our blueprint process. Now, the reason why we have a blueprint process is because we basically treat every client as if we have no idea what to do. Now, I don't mean that as like we actually don't know what to do, but we never presume that we know the answer right away. Every client is different, even if they're in the same industry, and we do not take the cookie cutter approach to marketing. There's a lot of agencies out there that are like, yep, you need this many paid ads in social, you need this many paid ads in Google, you need this many blogs, this is how long they should be. I can just go on, and it's basically like you're buying off of like a fast food menu. We take a holistic approach. We take the time to understand what the needs are of our clients, what their goals are, what their capacity is to get to those goals, and then come up with a strategy that meets all of that. And it's unique to the business. Every single client that we work with, we come up with a unique marketing plan. Yes, we use a lot of the same tools, but we use them in different ways at different cadences with different budgets. So one thing that we worked on a lot last year was how can we provide value to a client, even if they don't engage us in our services. And we came up with this blueprint. And we're not going to get into the details of like how it's built, but we meet with the client and we learn all we can about them. And then our team goes back and designs this blueprint that I'm going to show you. I'm actually going to share my screen. And this blueprint can be used by anybody. We tell every single client we meet with, here is your blueprint. You can execute on it. You can take this to another agency and they can execute on it. Or you can say, hey, like, this is great. We'd like to work with you and we'll execute on it. But it's ready to go. It's ready to go out of the box. You already know the plan. You just need to make it work. So I'm going to share with you a client of ours. They are a commercial real estate company that works in the due diligence side. So they help people vet properties, make sure that everyone has all the information they need to make a timely decision about purchasing commercial or selling commercial real estate. And they came to us, and again, this blueprint doesn't cover all of our services. This blueprint only covers our services that are specific to them. And it gets very granular. Like, you're going to get to see exactly what we recommend for their SEO, for LinkedIn ads, also website audit. Everything's been redacted, so you won't know who the company is. But this is just one sample that we wanted to show you. We also worked with an app company recently. They are building an app for yard maintenance, and the blueprint looked totally different than this blueprint. It was more about social media, working with influencers. We got them a list of influencers they could work with. We got them recommended ad spend for running their own ads, or for running ads within the app store, or for having budgets for the influencers themselves. We gave them a ton of content ideas around video and blogs. So these blueprints, they can take on many different facets. We're actually working on one right now that is for a staffing company specifically targeting utility workers. They help the PG&Es, the SMUDs of the world, find the technicians that they need, that they're looking for. And that blueprint is going to be wildly different than the other two that I just mentioned. So let's dive into this blueprint. And while I'm sharing this, let's see, I'll just show my whole window. Why not? Okay, so here's the blueprint. And this one's 30 pages. The last one we made was, I think, 45. Anyways, they range from around 30 to 50 plus. And so every blueprint, we talk with the client ahead of time about obviously what their goals are, and we match the blueprint to those goals. So first off, we start with keyword research, and we do our own research on the keywords that they are ranking for and that they are not ranking for. And if you see here, you can see that we're telling them who I'm sorry, what are the 5 keywords that they're ranking the highest for, and the 5 keywords that have the highest search volume. So we're trying to give them idea on how well they're doing right now in SEO and other areas that they could be focusing on. It's good to focus on a fairly small subset of keywords initially to start ranking for the site. So that's why we limited it to 5. But it can go up to 100 different keywords. And then we get into blog keywords. So we actually give them 12 suggested blog topics and with titles and keywords. And it gives a quick description on what that should be. So like that first one, it says harnessing automated valuation models in commercial real estate, benefits and best practices. There's a little blurb about what that actually is. With the keywords, you could give that to a content writer and say, write a 1,200 word blog with this, and they could execute on it. So I'm not going to go through every single blog, but we listed it for 12 different blogs. Keep going. The viewer in our webinar software is sluggish. And then we came through and did a site audit. So we talked to them about what's working, what's not working on their site, what do they need to fix? And it's basically a hit list of things that they need to fix. So we gave this to them, and then they realized how unhealthy their site was. And we actually went in and remediated those fixes. Case studies. So this client, I always talk to clients about why is Amazon so popular besides the next day delivery. It's social proof. Amazon is a very popular platform for people to buy things on because there's so many reviews for all the products. Regular businesses are the same, especially B2B businesses. They want to know what it's like to work with you without actually having to work with you. And one way to do that is to have case studies. So we went through and researched what are some really valuable case studies that they could do and have on their site and use to send out to potential clients in an email. You can link it in signatures. You can have them as QR codes when you're at a conference or on your business cards so that people can easily see we just got done working with a bank. Read this case study about, the work that we did and let's have a conversation about it. So we came up with these case studies, gave a very detailed outline on what these case studies should have inside of the case study themselves. So you can see that we went through and looked at a couple different verticals that they could talk about in case studies. Then we outlined a LinkedIn strategy, and it's a funnel, top of funnel all the way down to the bottom. And we listed out exactly what the ads need to be, and we gave them copy examples. And we linked to call to actions that link directly to a landing page. So again, I'm not going to go through these in detail, but again, more ad copy examples, more call to actions. They could literally take this to any marketing agency and be like, look, this is what we want to do. This is the roadmap to our success. Please make these ads. Doesn't have to be us. And then we actually created for them the mock-ups of the ads, so what they looked like. So this is, these are a couple examples. And yeah, again, we went through the whole funnel. So that's why there's so much here. We spent hours putting together this funnel. Again, more images, more video ideas. This was a primary focus for them because they're wanting to get, so this company's, I'm not going to go into super specific detail, but they wanted users for their software product. And so we're trying to get them those users. So that's why social media, i.e. LinkedIn, is a huge part of this blueprint. Again, more examples. These are all mock-ups. And then we talked about organic social. So how can they use organic social media to help drive leads to their company? So again, it goes into the organic side of LinkedIn. And then we actually wanted to show them, okay, your website's older, and here's how we feel like if you did a refresh of your website, not a rebuild, just a refresh, here's what it could look like. So we actually mocked up. So this is their nav bar, but expanded. It's called a mega menu. And then it doesn't look the best because we redacted so much, but this is part of their homepage. And then we also, so part of their strategy that we came up with was, okay, you have your paid LinkedIn, you have your organic LinkedIn. We need to get you in trade magazines, trade publications, online articles. So this PR outreach is that. And we just basically said, like, well, and I'll go back. This spreadsheet has a whole list of people to reach out to, news organizations to reach out to, how to actually get on those news organizations' platforms. So that's not in this blueprint. And this is another fairly big document that was attached to the blueprint. And then we just kind of wrap it up and give them a summary. And it was cool. I mean, this was a really great project for us to work on. I feel like the client got a ton of value out of it. And so did we. And we ended up working with them. They hired us to handle parts of this in stages. And this is my favorite way to interact with potential new clients because it gives both of us a little bit of a taste of what it's like to work with each other. And at the end, the client gets something that they can actually do something with. So, like, they can take that blueprint and execute on it. It doesn't have to be with us. They could shop it around to other agencies and be like, how much would it take to execute on this? So it's a low hassle way for us, low barrier way for us to provide value and to just help companies that are in need. I appreciate you taking the time to watch this webinar. This is our last one of 2024. The webinars are going to change a little bit moving through to 2025, which I'll be back with more updates later. But again, thank you for your time. I hope you have a great holiday season, and I'll see you next